What is going on, guys? It's Modded Warfare here. Welcome back to another episode of PS4 Jailbreak Tutorials, episode 4. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to install PS4 games, DLC and updates as fake package files. Plus, I'll be showing you how to fix some issues as well along the way, and how to improve the installation speed as well using the remote package installer, which is one of the homebrew apps we installed in the previous episode. So if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, there's a playlist link in the description and in the cards in the top right hand corner, so you can just click on those to access all of the previous episodes so far, so you can get caught up. It's all right there. And also I'm using a different microphone, you might be able to tell. So I think this one has a bit more clarity to it, so let me know if you prefer this or not. I think this one, is a bit clearer than the previous mic I was using. So anyway, we'll see. Let me know. But before we get started, it's important for me to say that I'm not going to be showing you where you can go to download games. I know that a lot of people want me to do that, but I can't do that, for hopefully what's obvious reasons. So this is just going to be showing you how to install them and fix issues with them. If you're wanting to know where you can actually go to download any of those things, you're going to have to figure that out yourself. So to begin with here, we're going to, of course, run the internet browser. We're going to go to our exploit host, whichever one you use. We're going to go to 6.72 and we're going to run Mira unofficial, or hen. If you have the hen payload, you can use that as well. We're going to be using the unofficial version of Mira, which will allow us to use the remote package installer. If you don't have an unofficial version of Mira, just use the normal Mira or hen payload instead. Okay, so heading over to the computer here. So I've got a few games downloaded. So if I go into COD World War II, so I've got Call of Duty World War II downloaded here. So typically what you'll find is when you download games, they'll be split into multiple parts. It's just easier to download them that way if they're split into multiple parts in RAR archives so that they're compressed. So to extract them properly, all you need to do is make sure they're all in the same folder, and they should all be named the same with all the different part numbers, so they all have a different part number. And then you just right click on part 1 and you extract here using WinRAR. You can download WinRAR if you don't already have it. 7-zip I think can do it too. Yep, 7-zip extract files. So you can go ahead and do it that way. If one of the parts is named differently, or it's in a different place, like a different directory, then when you get to extracting that part, it's going to just ask you where is this missing file, and then you can browse for it and then add it in, and then it will continue extracting. So that's all you have to do there. Once you have it extracted, you should have the actual package file. Now, as I've explained before, so there's two different types of package files for the PS4. There's fake package files and retail package files. So games that you download generally from certain places are going to be fake package files. Official package files from Sony, the ones that you download from Sony servers whenever you get an update for the game or you buy a game from the PSN store, those are retail package files. Also, your game discs have retail package files on them, but they have the license on the actual disc so you can run them. Obviously, when you buy a game from the store, the license is on or tied to your PSN account. So that's the only way to run them is if you have the actual license for them. However, with fake package files, you don't need a license because the executable files inside the package files have been decrypted, and Mira and hen are able to get those games to run. Whereas retail package files will not run even if you're running Mira or hen. They are not going to run unless you have the actual proper legitimate license for that game. So that is how that works. So in this Black Ops 3 folder here, I have a bunch of fake package files. So I've got the fake package game itself for Black Ops 3, 100. You can see where it says A0100, V0100 means it's the base game. Then I've got a update for Black Ops 3, the 1.26 update. So A0126 is update 1.26 as a fake package file as well. And then I also have some DLC, one of the maps, and Zombie Chronicles, which is a map pack for Black Ops 3. So I've got a couple of DLC files on here as well. Now, the thing you need to note is that you need to have the correct region and the correct title ID for that game. So you can see here that this game is EP002, which means it's a European copy, because EP at the start means it's a European version of the game. Then the title ID is this CUSA number right here, CUSA 02624. There's lots of different title IDs for the same game. So you need to make sure that, you know, if you download the 02624 version of the game, that you also, all the updates and the DLC package files you download for it are the same. So the same title ID 02624, and that they're for the same region as well. So EP for Europe, UP for US, and JP, I think, for Japan. So yeah, you need to make sure that all of that stuff matches. Otherwise, you're going to have problems trying to, you know, install an update on top of your game if they're for a different region or a different title ID. So that's important as well. You might be wondering, you know, if I download a game and it comes like this, where it doesn't have the proper title, it's just, you know, somebody's renamed this package file to Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and so how do I know what the CUSA number is of this package file? If you get a hex editor, which I'll link in the description to HXD, you can just drag the package file into a hex editor, and right at the top it should give you the proper title ID with the CUSA number and the region right there as well. So you're all good. So anyway, so once you've confirmed you've got the correct version of the game, the update, and, you know, any DLC that you want, and they're all fake package files, not retail package files, depending on where you downloaded them from, then you can go ahead and install them on the PS4. So you just copy them, of course, to a USB drive. So as you can see, I've already copied them over because these are really large files. So drag them and copy them over to the USB drive. Make sure you put them in the root of a USB drive. Don't put them in any folders. Then you're going to want to make sure that your USB drive is formatted in exFAT format. So if you go to properties, just make sure the file system is exFAT, because if it's FAT32, then you can't store files larger than 4 gigs on it, so that you won't be able to transfer over large games. And if it's NTFS, it's not going to be recognized by the PS4, so it has to be exFAT format. If it's not exFAT format, you can right click and reformat the drive and select exFAT as the file system and start, and then that will reformat it in the correct format. So once you've done that, you can then disconnect the drive. So if we go ahead and eject the USB device, and then plug our USB into our PS4. So back on the PS4, what we're going to do is, of course, head over to our settings menu, and then we're going to go down to the debug settings, game, package installer, and then we're going to go ahead and install the game first. So Black Ops 3, we'll go ahead and hit install. And of course, this is going to take time, especially if you're using a slow USB drive. I am going to be showing you in just a bit how to get faster speeds so that you can install games a lot faster. Okay, so here we go. We're just about done installing the game. Took quite a while there. So if we head back, you can see we now have the game installed, Black Ops 3, and we're on 1.00. So next we're going to go ahead and install the update. So we head back to game, package installer, and we'll install 1.26, which is about 18 gigabytes or so. Okay, so there we go. That's 1.26 installed. So if we head back and have a look at information, we are now on version 1.26. So that installed no problem as well. So finally, we're going to go ahead and install some DLC. So we'll do package installer, and we'll install, in fact, you know what? I'm not going to bother doing the whole Zombie Chronicles because that's quite large as well. Let's just do the Giant, because that's one map and it's pretty small. So it shouldn't take too long to get installed here. All right, so there we go. So that's a game plus the latest DLC plus the update also installed. If I go to information, you can see view DLC, so you can see the bonus maps in there. If we run the game, you'll see that it works no problem. And again, this works just like any other fake package file, just like your homebrew apps as well, where if you restart the PS4, you're not going to be able to run the game again unless you run Mira or Hen, and then when you run Mira and Hen, then you'll be able to run the game again. All right, so hopping into the game here, you can see the version in the top right, 90.000. And then if we head into zombies and we have a look at the maps, you can see the DLC map was installed successfully. So yeah, there you go. That's how you quite simply install games, DLC, and updates on your PS4. But we're not going to end it there because there's a few things I want to cover to make things easier, make it faster to install games, and also cover some issues. So if we try and install another game and another update here that I've prepared, I've put on the USB drive. So I've also got COD World War II, the game. So I'm going to go ahead and install that one. Okay, there we go. So that's World War II installed, as you can see right there. Now, the reason that I'm installing this game is to show you a problem that you will most likely run into when installing games. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to install this 1.24 update, which, as you can see, is for the same version of the game, UP002, same title ID, CUSA 05969 for World War II. I'm going to go ahead and install it here, and you will see what happens. Okay, and there it is. As you can see, an error has occurred, 36434-0. So yeah, this is the problem that you're going to get if you get the update and the game or DLC in the game from different sources, because basically there's this weird issue where if somebody builds the game and somebody else builds the updates, then they're not compatible. Maybe there's like a slight difference in the actual game that the patch is designed to update. So if your game is not the exact same version with the exact same like MD5 hash, then it just doesn't work with your game. So there is a way to fix this. It's a bit annoying, but there is a way to fix it if this does happen to you. The best way to avoid this is get everything from the same source, but obviously you can't always get everything from the same source because sometimes a certain update is only available from one source and the game's only available from a different source. So it's understandable that this might happen to you. So in order to fix this, there's a few tools we can use. So what we need to do is remarry the package file to the game package that it's currently not working with. The way that this is done is you have to extract the package file for the update and then basically rebuild the package file again using the game package file as the base package file to build the update from. So the way that we can do this is we can use a script that basically does it for us. This is the most reliable one I've found. This is the T42 repackager script, which will be linked in the description along with everything else that we're going to be using here. So I'm just going to extract this script into the same directory where we have our package files. There's also another program to do this by Duxa, D-U-X-A, patch repackager tool, which basically does the same thing. You just browse for the update and browse for the game package file, and then it does it for you. But that tool does have some issues because it uses the C drive to store lots of temporary files, and it can, if you don't have enough space on your C drive, it's not going to work. And I've had other issues with it as well. So this script is the most reliable one I've found so far. So the other thing we're going to need is the fake package tools. So again, it will be linked in the description. So we're going to go ahead and run the script first of all, because that will just create all the directories. So the script won't actually work, but it will create all the directories that we need. So we're going to put the game package file in the game folder. Then we're going to put the patch package file in the patch folder. And then we're going to open up the fake package tools, and we're going to copy the ext folder and orbispub-cmd.exe into the bin folder right here. And then you're also going to need a program called gengp4.exe. It's probably not part of most fake package tools. So if it's not in the fake package tools, I'll have a separate link to it. So download gengp4 and also copy it into that same bin directory. So once you've done that, you should be good to use the script. So just run it once. And if all this stuff shows up right here and it says extracting fake package update, then you should be good. So what it's going to do is just do everything for you. It will extract the update into the individual files that are inside the package file. It will extract that all, and then it will rebuild the update package file using the game package file as the base game for that update. And then it will create a new package file, a new update that should then work with that copy of the game. Obviously, you still need to have the same title ID. The patch and the update have to have the same title ID and the same region. It doesn't fix that issue, but it will fix the issue where if they're just from different sources and not working with each other, then this should solve the problem. All right, so that did definitely take a while. So we're now done with the repackaging of the update. So if you head into the repack folder, you should find the built update. So this is the update, the one that has -repack at the end. That is the rebuilt update that should now work with the game file that you have. So what we'll do, of course, is we'll just go ahead and copy this and take out the one that wasn't working off my USB drive now and get rid of that one, paste this new one in, and we will install that and it should hopefully work. All right, so going back here onto the package installer, and we're going to go ahead and install, oh, hold on, we need to refresh it so it shows up. There we go, repack.package. Same content has already been installed. Yeah, because I already installed it. See, that's the thing. When you install an update that doesn't work with your game, it will still be installed. It just won't be applying the update to the game. So you can see it says cannot install, but the file's still there. So you can cancel and delete it, or just overwrite it using, by installing the working update. So, and then just saying to overwrite the previous one. So anyway, we'll go ahead and install this, and hopefully this one will work. Okay, so there we go. We're just about finished installing, and there it is. Installed, no issues, no error messages. And if we go to information, you can see it has applied the update. Version number is 1.24. So there you go. That's how you fix that issue. Pretty common problem when you download games and updates and DLC from different sources. Even if they're for the same title and same region, you can still run into that error. So that is how you fix it. So moving on. The next thing I want to show you guys is how to install games faster using the remote package installer. Believe it or not, you can get the speed of the remote package installer if you set your network up in a specific way. You can get the remote package installer to install games much faster, and it saves you having to copy like a huge game and all the DLC and the updates to a USB drive first. Because that takes time, just copying it to the USB drive, and then you have to install it from the USB drive on the PS4, which takes even more time. So if you can cut out one of those steps and just install it directly with the remote package installer, then you're saving yourself a lot of time. But normally, especially on Wi-Fi, the remote package installer is incredibly slow when it comes to installing games. So let me show you here how to set up your network so that you can get the best speed possible with the remote package installer and install games pretty damn fast. So what you're going to want to do is, first of all, connect an Ethernet cable between your computer and your console. So obviously you need a computer close enough to your PS4 so you can connect an Ethernet cable between the two. And if you have a laptop, that's easy. Just bring the laptop to your PS4, and you're going to go ahead and plug one end of the Ethernet cable into your PS4, the other end into your computer. Once you've done that, you head down to your little network icon on the taskbar here. You right click and you open network and internet settings. From here you go to change adapter options. In adapter options, you're going to right click on whatever adapter provides your computer with the internet. So probably a wireless adapter, or maybe you have two Ethernet adapters in your computer or something. So you're going to right click. In my case, it's the Wi-Fi adapter. So I'm going to right click and go to properties. Then you go to sharing, and you make sure you check this box to allow other network users to connect through this computer's internet connection. And then if you have a drop-down menu here, then just select your Ethernet adapter as the adapter you want to share the connection with. If you don't have a drop-down menu, then it's fine. It means you only have one other adapter, so it will automatically share it with that, which will be the Ethernet adapter. So then click OK. So now you're sharing the connection that comes into the computer down the Ethernet cable straight to your PS4, because your PS4 is plugged in to that Ethernet port on your computer. So that gets you a direct wired connection between your computer and console. So at that point, on your PS4, you're going to need to set up your network settings on your PS4. So you go onto your settings, you go down to network, you go to set up an internet connection, make sure you use a LAN cable. Do custom internet setup, just do automatic IP, do not specify DHCP, do your manual DNS so that you add the al-asif DNS addresses. So 165.227.83.145 for the primary, and then the other one, 192. something, I'll put it in the description as the secondary DNS if you want to add that. And then we can go ahead and just do automatic for everything else. Check your setup and just make sure you've got a valid IP address and all that stuff showing up, and you are good to go. So at this point, we can run the remote package installer here. So we'll run this on our PS4. Then we head over to our computer. We're going to need a few different things. We're going to need Node.js. This will give you the best HTTP server speed. Node.js is the fastest one I've found. So I highly recommend you go ahead and install this. So just use the Windows installer, 32-bit or 64-bit version, depending on whether you have a 32-bit or 64-bit copy of Windows. Download it, install it. It's just a normal setup installer, so I won't go through that. But just download it and install it. Once you have it installed, you're then going to download the PS4 package sender, which I'll link in the description, and run that. You're going to test the server once you have Node.js installed. It should say the HTTP server is working normally. If not, it will say it will try and install it for you. Just let it do that, and then you should be good. So at this point, you're going to enter the PS4's IP address into the IP box right here. And then for the server address, you need to put the address of the Ethernet adapter. So when we went onto our network connections right here, you could see the Ethernet adapter is the adapter the PS4 is plugged into, and that's the one we're sharing our internet connection with from the computer. So if we go onto the command prompt and we type in ipconfig, that'll give us the different IP addresses on the different adapters. So you can see that the Ethernet adapter, the one the PS4 is plugged into, is using this IP address, 192.168.137.1. So that is the one that we're going to select right there. So that is your setup for the best possible speed, because now what we can do, let's just, as an example, take that Zombie Chronicles. Probably not a good example because the remote package installer cannot install package files if they have a space in the name, which is really annoying. So I'm just going to rename this to bo3_DLC so that it doesn't have a space in it, and then drag it in. Now you can see this is a 16 gigabyte file, 16 gigabytes. So let's see how long it's going to take to install 16 gigabytes. So if we head over to our remote package installer, we click send packages, and also you can set the timeout here as well. This is important. So 15 seconds should be fine if you have a fast drive. Obviously the package file is on one of your hard drives. So if you have the package file on like a slow USB drive or something, or external hard drive, you're still going to have a slow transfer speed, and you're going to have to set quite a high timeout setting because it's going to, take a long time to transfer. But yeah, so preferably you want to have the package files on a fast drive. Just make sure that whatever download directory you're downloading your package files to or extracting them to is a drive that has a decent read and write speed rather than some kind of external hard drive or USB drive. So the drive I've got mine on is just a regular 7200 RPM hard drive, so not as fast as an SSD, but not too slow either. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that 15-second timeout and then send the package file. And there you go, it gets added to downloads. Another thing to note about the remote package installer, in fact, there's quite a few issues with the remote package installer I should go over as well. But just to take a quick look at the transfer, if we head up to notifications, there you go. It's done a gigabyte already. I mean, what was that? A few seconds? It's been a few seconds. It's only going to take 3 minutes, according to this, to install the game. So the fastest server is the Node.js HTTP server. That's what my package sender uses. 3 gigabytes done already. 3 minutes to install a 16 gigabyte or almost a 17 gigabyte file, really, which is pretty damn good. So plus that it skips the whole process of actually having to copy it to a USB drive in the first place, because like that takes a significant amount of time too. So really this is going to cut down your transfer rates for your games by a hell of a lot. So yeah, that is essentially it. So a couple of problems with the remote package installer, some common issues people will definitely run into at some point. Obviously the timeout's an issue, like I said. If your drive speed is slow on the computer side of things, then you're going to have to up the timeout. If you're using wireless or something horrible like that, then you have to up the timeout even higher to stop it from cutting out halfway through the transfer or anything like that. Also, you're going to run into an issue where the download is going to stop near the end, and it's going to say 99 plus 99 hours or something and never finish the transfer. That happens if you don't have the DNS address added, the Al-Azif DNS, the 165.227.83.145 that we set up in our DNS settings. That's important, because if you don't have those DNS addresses added, you'll get that problem. You'll run into other issues with the remote package installer. Sometimes when you send the package file, if you've had the remote package installer running idle for too long, and it's just, and you haven't really been using it, but it's been open for too long, and then you try and send a package file that just doesn't send, it doesn't do anything. You have to close the remote package installer and reopen it again, and then close the package sender and reopen that again, and then try and send the package file again, because that can happen sometimes. And also, if you're sending multiple package files, then make sure before the package file finishes sending, make sure you go back onto the remote package installer like this for it to send the next package file. Because if you have the remote package installer minimized like this, while it's trying to send another package file, it's going to get stuck and it's not going to be able to send the next package file. So that's why when you get near finishing a transfer, you want to go back on here so that it can then send the next package file, because this has to be open like this in order for the remote package installer to receive new requests for new download requests. So yeah, that's essentially it. So there we go. It's installed in the short time I've been talking there, a few minutes. It's installed that 16, almost 17 gigabyte file. And if I go to the information and I go to view, you can see Zombie Chronicles has been installed. So there you go. So that is a much faster way of installing package files using the remote package installers. Yeah, anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Got through quite a lot there. Not sure how I'm going to try and get this down to like 20 something minutes, but anyway, that's how you install fake package games, DLC and updates, and also showing you how to fix a bunch of issues with, you know, fake package updates not working with the fake package game, how to fix that, how to install games faster with the remote package installer, to set the remote package installer up to get the fastest speed possible. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.